Entrepreneur. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Just making sure I am live. Here I am. I am live. How is everyone doing? Let me know how your weekend went. If you had a resting weekend, if you had some time to self-care, to spend quality time with your loved ones, let me know how yours went. Mine was good. I tried to stay away from some of the tasks that I had to do, reminisce. We enjoyed some of the weather here in New York. We had some family over for porch day. I have a porch in my home, so I always take advantage of that as much as possible on these great weather days. And I got time, I got time to relax and to really recharge so that I could come back with you today on day 6 of the boot camp. As usual, or as I always feel to thank you for the time, for those of you that have really come along with me throughout this journey, for the 5 days last week, and then taking the weekend off, and then coming back today for a recap. Feel free to join us today for those of you that haven't been able to catch either the live sessions or the replays throughout the week. Feel free to join us today to ensure that you are capturing some of the snippets, some of the most important part of the content that we have covered from day 1 to 5, so that you can really start applying things in your business as well and really have utilize Monday as a planning session, right? I mean, usually in my business, I would ensure that I keep Mondays as a great planning day throughout for the week and for the upcoming month based on what I have going on and things that I'm focusing on. So let today be that planning session that you might need moving forward. So I'm going to dive right in. Let me know again, as usual, before I go into some of the main highlights of the content and recap. Let me know where you are connecting from. And again, what your weekend was like. We would love to know that. So we talked about on day 1, the 7 foundational pillars of a 7-figure business, right? And it's really those principles, those foundational principles that you need in your business so that you have a bigger high level overview of the planning and the strategy behind where you're going and what you need to set in place so that you have actually the right, you have the right focus in place in your business, first of all, and you also have the right principles in place. So we talked about positioning of you and your offers, one of the pillars, content creation, which is another one, and brand building, right? Your messaging, what you're putting out there, how you are connecting with your ideal client. We talked about building a global brand, right? Putting yourself out there, increasing your visibility. So you build your know, like, and trust factor, and people have a chance to be exposed to you and your brand on a daily basis. Growing and monetizing your social media platforms. We spoke about how important is it that wherever you are, you're actually consistently building a community in that area, in that platform. And also how to nurture relationships, how to really connect with their ideal client and to really grow the know, like, and trust factor so that your brand is really exposed and people know what you do and how is it that they can work with you. Then we talked about setting a marketing system in place, making sure that you have the strategies and the system behind all of these other principles, right? And we talked about setting a sales system in place where you have a way that you are moving people through the process, your leads or your ideal prospects. You have a way of moving people through the process so that they eventually can close with you, which is where you serve them at a highest level. And then the next pillar is leading and growing your dream team, right? Everything we do is the human touch, right? I mean, there's automation, there's so many ways and things that we could do as far as, automating everything. But at the end of the day, if you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur, you want to build a business that you hear the impact and you can have the most impact in. So really understanding how to hire and where to place your team and what are some of those things that you need to focus on so that you could delegate them out to the right team member is going to be crucial in you setting that main foundation so that you are doing that. We talked about the difference of marketing, having a marketing and sales, right? Marketing is all about brand exposure, your content, making sure your ideal prospects are getting to know you, your visibility, how you're serving, how you're showing up. And then of course, sales is really the other process behind the marketing of what are you doing to follow up with those consistently with those people or leads or communities that are coming into your world and ecosystem so that you can move them, into the process, into closing them as your ideal client, right? So that is the difference between marketing and sales. Then we moved on to day 2 and really diving a little bit deeper in understanding your ideal client. What are the buying patterns? What are the areas that people mostly invest in? So you have a better idea of what motivates your ideal client and what is the language that you need to use in your marketing so that you are connecting with your ideal client. We talked about 4 of the main areas that we invest in, which is wealth, health, happiness, and relationships, right? So whatever we purchase with emotion and then we justify with logic. Then we talked about what type of client is your business attracting, whether you are attracting a value client, value-oriented client, or a price-oriented client. So really understanding the difference between both. Then we went into qualifying your client, right? Qualifying your ideal prospect so that before they get on a call with you, you actually have assessed some of the areas we spoke about on day 2. By the way, if you need any of this information or content in detail, then go back to each day. All the videos are pinned inside our Facebook group community, right in the features section. So you can go back to each day and listen in, deeper to get more of the details around all these different areas that I'm recapping today. So for day 2, you can go back and really listen to what are some of the qualifying questions that you can come up with so that you have a qualified prospect and someone that actually, is ready to buy and is ready to close. So go back and listen to that on day 2. By the way, the videos will be available until tomorrow because tomorrow is our last day. Day 7, and they'll be available until 12 p.m. Eastern time inside the group. And the open cart also enrollment for the program that we have open for the purpose-driven entrepreneur will also close at the price of the Bootcamp Challenge tomorrow at 12 Eastern midnight. Okay, so you'll have the videos there available for you as well. So we talked about that, what are some of the main ways that we can qualify a buyer and how is it that we can craft, our conversation that feels authentic for us based on the service that we are providing, right? Because based on the area you are helping people with, which is most likely falling into any of those areas we spoke about, obviously you need to have your own qualifying questions that feel good to you, and you're always in service to somebody else. Then on day 3, we talked about how to stand out in a saturated online market, how to build your brand, how to stand out amongst the competition, what are some of the things that we need to do to increase your visibility, to increase your credibility, to build your audiences, build your brand. We came up with our service statement on day 3, which is really the way that you introduce yourself, and you are not only stating your credibility, but you are also stating your service. What is it that you do, so that your client understands, or your potential client does not have to burn brain calories to understand what you are doing. And the simpler this is, the more clear this is, the better you'll land with your ideal prospect, and the better chance you'll have that your ideal prospect is actually understanding how is it that you can help them. So we came up with that. Lots of great service statements came through in the community as well. So we're able to give feedback on a lot of those as well. So that's what we did for day 3. And then on day 4, we talked about clarifying your brand message even more, right? So building a brand is so important. So we talked about what is some of the keywords or the key brand message words that you stand for that you can potentially utilize in all your marketing message, whether it's your content, whether it's your social media posts, whether it's you being a guest in other people's communities, wherever you are showing up for your business, really understanding the brand keywords of what you stand for is going to be the key in how you show up. And most important is that you stay true to your key message, to your brand words, right? Because that is what differentiates you. It's another great way to make you stand out from someone else that can come to the market or that might already be in the market and can say that they do what you're actually doing. All right, let me know, guys, if you have any comments, anything so far, any takeaways.
Happy Monday, just making sure.
All right, welcome, welcome. Oh, Julia, can you just share the Zoom link? It's the same link with Shatan in case Shatan wants to jump on Zoom. And if we have anyone else that wants to jump on Zoom, so we can have the live interaction as well. So, all right. So we talked about, that's what we talked about on day 4 with brand message. And then on Friday, we spoke about 4 key systems, right? 4 key systems that you need to have in your business so that you are actually increasing your brand visibility, your marketing, your sales, and your team so that you can obviously scale your business to the 7 figures. And most important, just like anything that we do, with the entrepreneur, the purpose driven program that is on open enrollment. And I would like to welcome all those of you that have joined our program. I'm so excited to work with you and to really help you to really get those results that you are looking for in your business. But the main difference of building a business out of principle and not tactics, out of principle and skills, is that you can actually take that's long-term knowledge that you can put back as a return on your investment when you are looking to grow your company later on. As you are going to evolve, every business evolves. We always start where we start, and then we take the next right steps. We put one foot forward, and we're building the business, one step at a time. That is usually how every business is built, right? But the most important part in really not learning the tactics of what I've done with the creation and the improvement over time of the purpose driven entrepreneur program that you can come into is really to learn the foundation. And most important, while you're setting the foundation, to really get back a return on your investment, right? To really, meet you where you are, come up with a 30, 60, 90-day strategy or plan or action plan that you could start taking that information that you're learning, applying it, and of course also getting results along the way. Because again, you don't have to wait for a year to learn these skills. You're going to be obviously taking the information, applying it, and getting a return on your investment right away, which is what I believe makes the program the best out there in the market, because I have been able to pretty much see what's out there and really make my program better because I want to serve at a higher level, right? So in really understanding that there is a return on investment, this is a ROI focused program. You're learning the strategies that you need, the principles and the skills, and then you are applying them, and then you bring in back money in your business, and then we're taking that money and then we are reinvesting it again. We're reinvesting it with hiring. We're reinvesting it with the next thing that you're doing as far as strategy for growth. So you're always sort of working, doing the theory, applying the theory, getting the results, and then moving on from there, right? So I've learned that You learn as you go, and that is how you are able to have the money behind the actions, and not just have a program where you're just learning, consuming information, but there is no return on investment, immediate return on investment. So that is one way. We spoke about the mindset, which is so important, especially as you are building your business and you're putting one foot in front of the other. All the things that will show up as you are scaling, as you are evolving, as you're growing, as some of these things you're trying are all new to you. Just like anything, everything that's new becomes old very fast because you learn it. It becomes second nature. You're practicing it. So of course you're always improving and you're always tweaking the results. So you will improve over time with that as well, right? So all the things that come up as far as imposter syndrome, perfectionism, having an expense versus an investment mindset, especially in business and being an entrepreneur, it's a different mindset for being an employee. I mean, I have the experience with both. I was an employee and now I'm an entrepreneur. When you're an employee, you tend to think more over the pay that you're getting, your salary. And a lot of times you don't have the chance to really be the one that is making these investments, and the results that you are creating are not always tied to your pay. But when you are on an entrepreneur, it's a completely different way, right? So everything that you're putting in your business has to be a return on your investment. You have to make strategic decisions for your business so that you're actually having a return on your investment down the line, right? So business is more of a long-term gain rather than the immediate um, pleasure or result that you might get in the moment. It's really, working at things from a wider angle so that, of course, you are working on the right things for the next step that give you back a return on your investment, but you're also mapping out the strategy for longer term business growth, right? So being able to have a great dance between both so that you are setting yourself up in the business for long term success in that way as well. We talked about perfectionism. We're never going to have perfect anything with entrepreneurship. Another thing is about just taking action, and through action, you're going to get the clarity, right? Just taking a messy action, doing things, just to do them at the beginning and then improving from there, because mastery takes time. Just like anything, you have to constantly be doing something so that it becomes like a nature. And then you look back at your results and then you see how much you've actually grown and improved along the process. And it's the results are always tied to that. It's not the results of your business are not out there in the market. Yes, you could adapt your business to what's happening in the market and the marketplace and in the economy and all of that. That's how it's happening. But at the end of the day, you don't control that. The only thing you do control is you and the way you're taking action, right? And the way you are showing up for your business, and that you are working on the right principles and skills. That's the only thing we always can control anyway, right? But the entrepreneurs that understand that and have the tenacity to show up no matter what to serve, which is why another thing that makes me personally, um, I would say, um, what my values are. Not that makes me different or better or worse than any other mentor out there. That's why I speak so often over aligning yourself with the right mentor that shares your values. Values are very, very important, because one of my main values is showing up to serve. And I build a business out of nurturing, out of relationships, out of service, servant leadership, building a community driven, right? Growth oriented. So that is the people that I attract to in my world. So really building a business that it doesn't feel salesy, that doesn't feel sleazy, that doesn't feel like, it's something that is out of alignment with your values has always been very important to me. So that is what I teach inside the programs as well, or anything that I do. This is why we talk about purpose-driven entrepreneurship, because it's different for everyone. It has to be aligned with, what your gifts are, what your main purpose is here in the world to do, what your mission is, what your vision is. It has to all align but of course, understanding the principles and the skills to make that vision a reality and to really have that vision impact more people is going to be, crucial in you building the business that will leave a legacy. My tagline is building a legacy business that's going to really stay here for years, that's going to give you the lifestyle, the thriving lifestyle, I would say, right? Because we don't want to be in survival. And the whole thing about building a business on principle is that you have a really great business model, that you have repeatable, creatable system, and you have a client for life mentality where you are building a business out of the results that you're able to provide, and you're always addicted to how is it that you can provide better results for your loyal fans. And I've spoke about this before, that you don't need 1 million followers to build a very successful 7-figure business. You really just need 100 loyal fans, right? Just 100 loyal fans that you have great relationships with, that you have served at the highest level, are going to make sure that they put their trust in you, and then you put your trust in them, and that is what you need to really build a 7-figure business. So it's really it's not the hustle, it's not what we've served into the marketplace right now, it's not build a business in 5 days, make $1 million in 30 days. Those are all gimmicks. I stay away from anything like that. Business is not it's not, you don't build $1 million business in 30 days. Whoever is saying that, obviously it's a sleazy marketing strategy to get your attention, but business is here to be built on foundation, on principle, so that you can really leave a legacy. And yes, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the time. But of course, as you are learning, as you are growing, and as you're investing in the right framework and roadmap, you of course shorten your time. The things that took me 5 years to learn, I will teach them in one, right? So learn from my mistakes. That is always the greatest gift, with aligning with the right mentor that has the results that you want, right? Because that's also the other important part about investing in your business. Just like I said, having that investment mindset. Where is it that you need to build, um, where is it that you need to invest, so that you can get back, based on your personal goals, what is it that you're trying to achieve from your business, right? So, and really having, the value and the service methodology, that is my methodology. That's how I've been able to build my business, being in service, being in human relationships, being addicted to my clients' results, always ensuring that I'm always serving, always ensuring that I'm improving things, always ensuring that I am there to serve, and I am there to always be very attentive in making sure that I align my message with what my ideal client wants, and to connect with them in all these different methods through community building. I mean, that business just feels like why I started my business, right? Again, anytime that something doesn't feel good to you, it's either something that is new and you have to learn and improve over time. But as long as you understand the bigger impact and the bigger why, you're always going to be motivated. Because sometimes if we lack the clarity on why we're taking an action, in the first place, then that's why we have noise and we have a lot of defensiveness. But if we understand that this connects to our bigger vision and mission, then we are willing to put up with all the work that it takes. We're willing to put up with all the actions that we have to take. We're willing to put up with all the new skills and principles that we have to learn, because the buy-in is so important and it's so fulfilling, and the impact that you're making is so important and so fulfilling. So for everyone, every new person that joins the Purpose Driven Entrepreneur yearly program, I'm big on philanthropy. We give away, we help one girl and one woman that is in poverty and also in abusive relationship, get her access to online education, also online to entrepreneurial skills. So just so you guys know that, when you're coming into the program, you're actually helping someone else in need as well. Because what's the point of building, successful businesses if we are not fulfilling our soul's need, which is contribution, and the way that we're making a difference for someone else that is in need, that maybe doesn't have the right resources that we would have probably wanted if we were in that situation maybe years ago, right? So it's really the idea of paying it back, paying it forward, which is why I say the more you become valuable as an entrepreneur, the more you add value with your business, the more valuable you become, the more you can help other people, right? And always, the success, the key to any success, at least what I've learned so far, is, your success is always correlated to someone else's success. So with everything that we do, we have to make sure that we help someone else reach that level of success so that we can become successful. So it's like the chain reaction that it's like the gift that keeps on giving, and it's always, continuing. So the open enrollment is open until tomorrow midnight. We're coming to the stretch for open card. The amount, the investment is $1,500 a month, or $16,500 paid in full. And you also receive, if you pay in full, the free social media audit, and also a 1 hour strategy together where we can plan for longer term vision of your business, in a year, a yearly long-term vision for your business. So what are you trying to achieve? And then work backwards inside the program to map everything out. And also for this challenge, for as a bonus, I'm also including a free month in the membership. So when you enroll now, you get 13 months inside the membership rather than 12 months. So you'll be paying for 12 months, but you'll be getting 13 months. So you get a free month as well. I hope to see as many of you as well. Tomorrow I'm coming back for Q&A. So I'm going to collect all the questions that you guys have asked throughout all the different days of the workshop, anything that you've asked on private messenger, anything that we've gone over. And I'm also going to post inside the group if you have any additional questions. They can be questions regarding content. They can be questions, based on the overall where you are in your business or what you need help with. So go ahead and post your questions. Tomorrow I'm coming back at 12 Eastern to answer any of the questions that you also have in your business. So again, looking forward to seeing you here tomorrow, and looking forward to having you and serving you on the other side inside the program. Bye for now. Have a great Monday, everyone.